guys, here with a new video for the channel. I hope you like it, and if you like it, don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment, and subscribe. Now without further ado, get comfortable. Let's begin. At that moment, in which both warriors were releasing a great part of their power, planets were affected, since Goku, when raising his power, tried not to cause havoc for the universes so that these are not affected. On the contrary, Zykor did not care about the life of living beings. At the moment Goku would access the Super Saiyan Phase 3 combined with the Ultra Instinct, Goku at that moment would be launched at lightning speed, connected a big hit all over Zykor's face, but Goku at that moment would feel what he had never felt. That's right, Goku felt fear, terror, excitement, adrenaline, since his blood had only been able to turn a little of Zykor's face. Ha ha ha! Is that all the power you have? Don't make me laugh. I'll finish you off quickly and without having to exert myself. Zykor at that moment would begin to give him a rain of blows. But unlike last time, now Goku was able to dodge each of his blows. That's right, his senses had increased in an amazing way, but his power was still not enough. While Goku exchanged blows, he would say to himself, "Damn it! I don't want to access my Berserker mode. In that state, I'm not able to master all my power and I always destroy some planets." Goku and Zykor would continue exchanging multiple blows for each of the 12 universes. Meanwhile, in a faraway place from the 12 universes, Vegeta and Frieza were on a planet. "I thank you for reviving me, Frieza. From now on, our revenge begins. We'll finish with Kakarot by any means necessary."
"Of course we will, Vegeta-sama, but the power of that damned monkey is amazing."
"Don't worry about that, Frieza. We'll have much more potential, and with your help, Kakarot's insect won't be able to do anything."
Vegeta at that moment would throw a sphere of energy of the purple color with some rays. At that moment of touching the planet where they were, no ki was able to leave that place.
"This barrier has the ability that no matter how much we increase our power, I'll not be felt on the outside, so we can train without any concern."
"I have wanted to train with my maximum power for years."
Frieza at that moment would begin to access his most powerful transformation, which was Black Frieza. At that moment, even the Prince of the Saiyans, Vegeta, would be very surprised to feel all the incredible power of Frieza.
"What the hell? Frieza, you didn't have all this incredible power."
Frieza at that moment, he finished his transformation, he would stand in front of Vegeta.
"I have been training my base state, but that is not as efficient as training in your most powerful mode."
"But the power you've achieved is amazing, so you'll be a great training partner. I hope you're ready."
Vegeta at that instant would accede to the Ultra Ego, and without meditating words would begin to exchange blows with Frieza. However, the power of his blows seemed even this angered Vegeta, who, before dying, was considered the most powerful god and even feared by others. Meanwhile, returning to the battle of Goku and Zykor, both seemed to be even. However, the few hits that Goku was able to connect had no effect on Zykor, while the 4 hits that Zykor had given him made him feel immense pain.
"Apparently with 26% of all my power, I'm not able to hit you. But how about this?"
Zykor at that moment had increased his speed in an amazing way. That's right, Zykor had increased his power to 40%, being able to overcome the reaction speed of the Ultra Instinct, giving him a few good blows to Goku, who felt the most agonizing pain. Zykor with a kick would send Goku flying to the ground, making him return to his base state.
"Damn, I never thought a Saiyan would put me in this condition. I must use my Berserker state." "You have a great opponent, but you don't have the power to face me."
Zykor at that moment would fly towards Goku at an astonishing speed. However, in all of Universe 8, an Ozaru face would appear and a loud roar would make him retreat.
"What the hell's going on? What is all that power?"
Goku would raise his power to the max. That's right, at that moment Goku had accessed his Berserker mode, or better known as Super Saiyan Phase 4. Zykor would be very surprised by the color of his fur, as he had a very similar transformation but with silver fur, implying that he dominated the Ultra Instinct.
"What transformation's this? The power you emanate's incredible. The only thing you should know is that this transformation, I'm not able to control my power, so be ready."
Goku at that moment would be much more incredible speed, which would connect a blow, but this time, that blow would send him flying thousands of meters, causing him to crash into some trees and a few mountains. But this blow had caused him great damage. Maldito! That blow had caused me pain that I've never felt before. I swear I'll finish you off. Meanwhile, in the realm of everything, Daishinkan would feel an anomaly in the universes, and at the moment of observing the Universe 8, he would be very astonished.
But this power is amazing, and Son Goku's facing it. The power of that warrior even surpasses mine with ease.
At that moment, one of the Guardians, the Zeno-sama, would stand next to Daishinkan, and he would feel chills as he went to the power of Zykor.
The power of that guy is amazing. Not even we would be able to fight him, and Son Goku's doing it. The future of the 12 universes is in his hands.
Goku and Zykor at that moment began to exchange blows, but this time both generated abysmal power, because both power of them was supreme. However, Zykor at that time was one who was furious because in this point of view, a simple Saiyan was cornering him.
Negative mythic dragon!
A large dragon of a dark color was heading towards the blow.
If you want to dodge it, but be prepared for the annihilation of 8 universes. I wasn't planning to dodge it. Heavenly Dragon Hit!
A white dragon began to collide with Zykor's dragon. However, Goku's attack turned out to be much more powerful, destroying Zykor's dragon. However, Zykor at that moment increased his power to the maximum and would access a transformation that would leave Goku astonished, since with his simple aura he was able to disintegrate his attack.
You're an amazing guy. Your power is incredible, but now I'll use 100% of all my power.
Zykor at that moment was able to give him a strong blow, but Goku, without lagging behind, having him so close, would give him a great blow in the same way.
How the hell are you able to hit me? I've activated the Ultra Instinct. I tell you the same thing you told me. My power exceeds your reaction speed, so neither of us is at a disadvantage. Both warriors began to exchange blow at an amazing speed. Meanwhile, returning to Vegeta, both had finished their fighting, being Vegeta the winner with great difficulty. I have an idea. Let's train in the time room.
But isn't that on planet Earth?
That's right, but we could go to that place connected to other dimensions. And the only thing we need is to be close to planet Earth.
And now with those guys are unleashing all their power, it's the perfect opportunity.
That's right, so it's time to do it.
Vegeta and Frieza would head to Universe 7 at a great speed with the intention of having better results in their training. At the moment of arriving in Universe 7, Vegeta and Frieza increased their power to the max, being able to unite different dimensions, and at the moment they would observe one of a white color.
That white one is the Room of Time.
Both warriors have been able to reach the Room of Time, in which they began their difficult training. Meanwhile, the Kingdom of Everything, Daishinkan was very worried because if Goku would defeat, no one would be able to cope with that guy.
Son Goku, only you could do something against that guy, so we trust you.
Goku and Zykor would continue in a very even battle. However, the outcome was not at all to Goku's liking, since his power began to diminish with the time that had the battle. The opposite was Zykor, which had only decreased a little. At that moment, a powerful attack in the form of Fire Dragon was formed, and Goku, with an overwhelming speed, was able to dodge it and give a blow to Zykor, but this time, he was surprised to realize how Zykor stopped his blow.
A gigantic power is like a flame that burns at its maximum splendor for a few moments. Now your power is beginning to diminish.
Damn it! I'm not able to defeat him. Who the hell is this guy? The power he possesses is overwhelming.
Meanwhile, in Yamoshi's dimension, he was observing everything that had happened, being a little annoyed since Yamoshi didn't know about Zykor's existence.
That damn worm. He was able to enter the multiverse of which I was once the king of all.
That's right, millions of years ago, Yamoshi was the king of everything, and had defeated Zykor in a friendly battle between multiverse. Returning to the battlefield, Goku and Zykor would continue with a very even battle. However, this time Goku was being slaughtered. At one point in the battle, Zykor would take him by one of his legs and begin to crash him with everything in front of him. And when he let go, he would throw a large sphere of energy. A large explosion would be seen all around and a badly wounded Goku.
Damn it! That bastard has amazing power! Wow, I realize you can't go on anymore. You better end your pathetic life right this instant.
Zykor at that moment would begin to create a giant sphere of massive destruction. Throwing it without thinking twice, all the universes would shake in terror, and would invade them all, since all the divine beings were to observe such a brutal battle.
Don't think I'll lose!
Goku at that moment took his body to the limit. With a strong blow, he would make the attack split into hundreds of energies, but Goku, with a roar of a beast, was able to send all those attacks flying through space.
I realize that you're a tough guy to kill, but that won't be enough for you.
Zykor at that moment would again pounce against Goku. However, Goku, not having a battle of that level for hundreds of years, his body was adapting a new level, that is, everything in him was running with more strength. Even the blows that Zykor gave him were not able to damage him as before.
What the hell's happening to him?
Goku at that moment would give an incredible scream, making all 12 universes rumble. The power he was releasing was amazing. At that moment, a loud rumble would be felt and a huge explosion would be created all over the place, even opening dimensional cracks.
Wait, a transformation! No! I won't let you reach it!
Zykor would launch himself towards Goku at a surprising speed. However, a great roar would make him retreat. That's right, the power that Goku was releasing was abominable. At that moment, you would be able to observe Goku with the same transformation that Zykor, that's right, had mastered the Super Saiyan 4 with Ultra Instinct, but the energy drain was unbelievable.
So all this power is mine, but I don't think I can last more than 2 minutes with transformation, so I'll end your life now. Don't think it'll be so easy for you.
At that moment, both warriors launched one against the other at an amazing speed. After 30 seconds of battle in which both had received the most lethal attacks of their opponents, both charged their last attack. However, at that precise moment, Goku would run out of time, being sent to fly to a badly wounded planet. He has even lost one of his arms, and Zykor, without any energy, even a god was able to annihilate him.
Never thought I'd meet such a powerful being. I'll come back and finish you all off.
Zykor would return to the portal and disappear completely. Meanwhile, at that moment, Beerus and Whis, which were the closest beings to Goku, would quickly go to where Goku was, taking him with them. Whis was trying to heal Goku's wounds, was impossible because the power of his damage far exceeded his level.
Mr. Beerus,
I'm not able to recover Goku. At that moment, Goku would open his eyes.
Don't worry, Whis. I can heal myself.
Thanks for picking me up. Goku at that moment would access the Super Saiyan God, with which he would begin to regenerate all of his cells by joining his arm, and the cells would do the same.
This is the power of the Super Saiyan God.
Likewise, Goku would once again be unconscious and out of combat, since the damage received internally was incredible.
Goku should definitely be considered the most powerful Supreme God. He even has the ability to regenerate himself.
Meanwhile, with Yamoshi, he was furious knowing that Zykor has returned and had left his disciple in such terrible condition. Yamoshi, furious, would begin to increase all his power. Yamoshi in his dimension was releasing an extremely incredible power, so much that it would even create dimensional portals through the other multiverses. That's right, the power of Yamoshi was so much that he had destroyed the space-time completely. That at moment, with a loud scream, Yamoshi had access to his legendary transformation, destroying everything around him. At that moment, Yamoshi would observe the dimensional cracks.
It's time for the Supreme King of all to return and put a stop to the beings of the other multiverses. I'll not allow them to harm Kakarot again.
Yamoshi at the beginning would enter the dimensional rift. Meanwhile, on the planet of Beerus, everything was being destroyed due to an incredible power. That's right, Yamoshi had not yet arrived to his planet, but the power he was giving off was enough to destroy everything around him.
What's going on? A new enemy?
I don't know, Mr. Beerus, but the power that this being gives off is incredible. So much so that I even know that it surpasses the power of Mr. Goku with ease.
At that moment that Yamoshi arrived to the earthly world, hundreds of planets for all the 12 universes were destroyed.
due to the fury of Yamoshi. At that moment, Beerus and Whis were surprised to observe a being with Saiyan appearance. That's right, the powerful Yamoshi, when presented in his legendary transformation, it was evident that it was a Saiyan.
But who are you, mighty Saiyan God?
Yamoshi, without saying a single word, was approaching Goku. At that moment, Beerus and Whis, with difficulty, would get in front of Yamoshi. We know that his power surpasses us by tens of times, or even more, but we won't allow him to do anything to Mr. Goku now that he's not able to defend himself.
That's right. If you want to end his life, you'll have to go over us first.
Yamoshi at that moment would begin to laugh big.
Ha 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 ha! Being simple scum, they would give their lives for Kakarot? They really are worthy of me training them.
Yamoshi at that moment would decrease his pressure, making Beerus and Whis move freely. At that moment, Yamoshi would approach Goku, and with a strong blow in his stomach, would make him react. That's right, Yamoshi in that blow had been able to make all of his ki flow normally through his sea of energy. At that moment, Goku's body was adapting the power he had used against Zyko. While this happened, Beerus would approach Yamoshi.
Mighty God, how do you know Goku? Who are you? I trained Kakarot. And to answer your second question, I was the first king of everything. And I was known as the king of everything Supreme Saiyan.
Beerus and Whis were very surprised to know that in front of them, they had an incredibly powerful being that even surpassed the power of Goku, who was already the most powerful guy of all the universes, and after a few minutes, Goku had reacted.
Ouch! My whole body hurts. But it's you, Yamoshi!
Ha 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 ha! As far as I can tell, you've been beaten up.
Goku at that moment would start to explain everything that happened. However, Yamoshi would not need explanation since he had seen everything.
I've returned since you already are for your last training to control and master the Ultra Instincts Phase 4, or better known as the Annihilator of Kings.
Annihilator of Kings?
That's right. Since this transformation, you'll be able to end the life of a king completely in one blow, without any effort whatsoever.
Goku would be very surprised by Yamoshi's words.
I'm ready to become much more powerful. I'm sure that guy will come back, and I want to be able to defeat him with my own hands, because the energy he gave off could be felt as he ended the lives of thousands of living beings.
Goku and Yamoshi at that very moment, without saying anything, began to move at a great speed. And at that moment, both began to exchange blows at an incredible speed, being so much that they were fighting for all the universes. But the other gods and angels were not able to perceive them to overcome their perception. So it is, Goku and Yamoshi were exchanging blows, but in each exchange, Goku was much more hurt. At the time of taking both a little distance, Goku was a little hurt.
How the hell have you done all this power? I thought when I reached Berserker mode, I was able to overcome all your power.
Kakarot, I have the power of a king at all, before I'm using a part of my true power.
Meanwhile, Daishinken was also very surprised by Yamoshi's presence, since even he had never met him. He had only heard legends of his power millions of years ago.
This is amazing. The original king of everything is in our 12 universes, and he has personally trained Lord Goku.
Meanwhile, in a multiverse very different from this, Zycor was meditating since his body had been left in terrible condition. However, at that moment, Zycor with great fury would give a great scream.
Ah! Damn you! I swear I'll end your miserable life. The only one who had humiliated me in this way had been that damned Yamoshi. I'll not let you live.
Zycor would continue with his meditation to be able to heal each one of his wounds and return to the multiverse of Zeno-sama to finish off Goku once and for all. Returning to Yamoshi and Goku, Goku had fallen to the ground in his base state and was very badly wounded. That's right, Yamoshi's power was abysmal. No matter with that, Goku was in his berserker state, which gave him an overwhelming resistance. Yamoshi's fists seemed to be made of iron, which shattered Goku's body with each exchange of blows.
Ouch, Yamoshi! I thought I was just training, but the power of your blows has pulverized every one of my bones.
Whis, please heal Goku's wounds. I hope you're prepared because now I'll train with you. I want to become much more powerful, but I hope I don't die in a simple training.
Whis would use his baculum to heal all the wounds on Goku's body, making him even have a powerful Zenkai. At that moment, Whis and Beerus would get into battle pose. Yamoshi would stretch out one of his arms.
This'll be enough.
Come and attack with everything you have. At that moment, Whis and Beerus rushed against Yamoshi, being in vain since Yamoshi dodged each one of their blows without any difficulty. Meanwhile, in the time room, Frieza and Vegeta were taking a rigorous training which, for both warriors, had given excellent results, because Vegeta had achieved the Super Saiyan 4, while Frieza had taken beyond the power in his transformation of Black Frieza. With his power, I'll end Kakarot's life once and for all.
And I will help him in every way, Vegeta-sama. I swear we will finish that wretch.
Vegeta and Frieza continued with their arduous training. They were preparing themselves to be able to finish with the life of Goku and every warrior that's on their side. Returning to Whis and Beerus, both had been very badly wounded when facing the powerful god Yamoshi, who with a simple few blows had been able to leave them very badly wounded. Yamoshi on this occasion decided to give them a little of his legendary power, as his power was unlimited and would not affect him in the least. However, in that moment, when the power entered his body, Vegeta and Beerus had to fight him. At the moment that the power went into the body of both deities, the power had shot up in an amazing way. So much so that even Beerus had been able to achieve a transformation while Whis had increased his power in an incredible way, so much so that he was even able to face Daishinkan. At that moment, Beerus, feeling that he was exploding, would access his new transformation, with which he would shake the entire Universe 7. That's right, the powerful god Beerus had achieved a new power. Mighty King Yamoshi, I thank you for the power you've given me. I promise to use this power to protect the weak and make this world better for every space.
Thank you very much for helping us to overcome your powers.
You should not thank me. You're worthy warriors for whom I can entrust my power. Because even knowing that I could finish you, you decided to protect Kakarot. Then I hope you're ready for the new training, because it'll be much more difficult. However, at that precise moment, Goku's body began to release again an incredible power. That's right, Goku's body had mastered 100% of the power of Ultra Instinct Phase 4, beginning again to transform. His power was able to shake every corner of the 12 universes. The gods, to feel such power, they didn't know what was happening. At that moment, the 11 gods, along with their angels, had gone to the planet of Beerus to know who was the owner of this power. At the time of arrival, everyone had been surprised to see Goku, but very different because his appearance was that of a celestial being.
Is it Goku? I'm not able to feel his power. What happened to him?
The power of the Saiyan Goku had surpassed all our limits. He's the one chosen to be the supreme god of destruction, as Zeno-sama said. However, at that moment, a new power would also be felt all over the planet. The powerful Beerus had increased his power to the maximum, being in his new transformation, with which he was able to fight against all the gods and angels and defeat them with a little difficulty. His power would draw the attention of everyone, especially that of Champa, which was his twin brother.
Beerus, how did you get all that power?
I've been training with the original king of everything.
The original king of everything? What the hell are you talking about?
At that moment, a great pressure would fall on all the gods and angels, who would fall to the ground on their knees. And the only ones who remained standing were the deities of Universe 7 and Goku, who had an amazing power. And what is this power? Am I not able to move any of my bones? Yeah, I'm the king of the original everything. But when my power endangered the 18 universes, I asked Daisuke to seal me. At that instant, all the angels were surprised since Daisuke-sama was his grandfather. That is, the father of Daishinkan-sama, and according to the rumors, no being will be able to have the same power as Daisuke-sama. In that moment, Yamoshi would diminish his murderous intention. Gods and angels, as you can observe, there's no inconvenience, but I'll give you an order. I want you to train much more, since an extremely powerful being is approaching our multiverse, and we must have the necessary power to protect it. As you command, Yamoshi-sama. Meanwhile, in the time room, Vegeta and Frieza had already controlled 100% of all their power, and had even created a technique called Divine Union, which consisted of uniting their powers, but each being kept his own body. That is, the power of both was multiplied 100 times, but separately, it was much more powerful technique than a fusion. Finally, we're ready, but we'll train 3 more years to be ready. We must be ready because if I think Daishinkan will get in the way of our plans.
No matter who our opponent Vegeta-sama is, our powers have increased in a big way.
Meanwhile, in Universe 7, again, Zykor's portal has been created. That's right, Zykor had fully recovered, releasing an abysmal power to get Goku's attention, who, with his simple power, had destroyed millions of planets, and with this, the life of millions of living beings. Yamoshi, furious, would raise his power to the maximum, releasing a power much more incredible than Zykor's, which at that moment, he would quickly recognize.
Is that Yamoshi's power?
Yamoshi continued to increase his power by accessing his legendary transformation, which will allow him to push his body to the limit. Yamoshi was releasing an extremely atrocious power. That's right, his power was so much that even overshadowed the power of Zykor, which had recognized him immediately. However, at that moment, Goku, realizing all the destruction that Yamoshi was causing, tried to stop him. However, Yamoshi seemed to be in a state of anger, which made him lose consciousness completely. Yamoshi, at that moment, the only thing he was looking for was to destroy everything around him. Yamoshi, without having knowledge of anything, would begin to fly at an amazing speed to where he felt the power of Zykor. Goku, without wasting time, would use teleportation since Yamoshi's power was too much to feel from any universe. He would be astonished to observe how Zykor was capable of giving him a beating. At that moment, Goku would feel a terror towards Zykor, since if he was capable of fighting against that power, Goku would be nothing against him. Nevertheless, in his mind, his father would be present.
My son, you don't have to be afraid. I'm with you. The power that you possess is the power beyond a king of everything. You could even surpass Yamoshi. And that guy's not superior to Yamoshi, only that Yamoshi's not conscious. He has too many weak points. Save him.
Goku at that moment, with much more hope and confidence, would throw himself against Zykor, managing to connect a great blow, which would make him retreat hundreds of meters. Yamoshi at that moment would pounce against Goku. However, Goku would be able to dodge it, and with a powerful blow, he was able to leave Yamoshi out of combat. Goku, realizing that Beerus and Whis were near the place, he would throw Yamoshi at them, while Goku would get into battle pose.
This time I'll finish you, you bastard. I won't let you destroy my timeline, just like you did yours. I'll exterminate you.
I want to check if you have the power to do it, damn you.
Zykor at that moment would pass to the Ultra Instinct Phase 4. However, Goku in the same way would do it, leaving a little astonished Zykor, who thought that Goku would not be able to dominate that state. In the same instant, both subjects began to exchange blows at an extremely incredible speed. Meanwhile, in the time room, Frieza and Vegeta had already finished their training completely. The power of both villains had grown in an incredible way. At that moment, both of them increased their power, making the whole dimension explode. However, at that very moment, both would decrease their power to the minimum to not be perceived by the other warriors, since Vegeta and Frieza had felt the power of Goku, who was facing an equally powerful subject.
Let's wait for the battle to end. When both warriors are badly wounded, on the verge of death, we'll give them the final blow.
That's what I'm looking forward to, Vegeta-sama. I'm finally able to finish with that miserable scum of Goku. After so many humiliations, I'll make him dust with my own hands.
Vegeta and Frieza were waiting for the perfect moment to attack, while both Saiyans would continue with very even battle. That's right, a clear winner would not be observed. After a few moments in which both warriors had destroyed hundreds of thousands of planets, both had appeared. However, the most annoying was Goku.
Damn insect, why do you fight near planets?
For such a powerful warrior, you have a heart of crystal. I noticed your weakness when you didn't defend yourself when you were near them.
Damn it, this bastard knows I don't like planet annihilation.
At that moment, Goku would hear his father's voice.
Kakarot, don't worry about the annihilation of the planets. We'll bring them all back to life with the Super Dragon Balls. But if that guy wins, he'll finish off every being. So don't hold back. I trust you, Kakarot.
At that moment, the look of Goku had changed completely. That's right, Goku was ready to end the battle once and for all. Goku at that moment would increase his power to the limit, forming a giant Ozaru throughout the universe. That's right, the power that Goku gave off was so much that even his aura of beast materialized.
I'm ready. I won't let you defeat me.
Goku at that moment of a great speed would begin to massacre Zycor, who didn't expect the brutal increase in power and speed of Goku. At that same moment, Yamoshi would regain consciousness, being very confused about where he was.
Where am I? What happened? I was talking to all the gods. Mighty King Yamoshi, you went into a state of rage when a subject released a power that even destroyed the other universes. That's the power of Zycor. But how did he get so much power? Something's wrong.
Don't worry, Yamoshi-sama. As I can see, the power of Lord Goku will be able to defeat him.
Goku continued with his great beating of Zycor, who this time was no longer able to do anything to defend himself.
Your end has come, you damn insect.
Goku at that moment would throw himself against Zycor, creating his most powerful technique. That's right, Goku was charging all his power in his blow.
Dragon smashing blow!
A powerful dragon was about to impact with Zycor. However, at that moment, the hand of the subject had stopped all the attack of Goku without any difficulty, and without anyone noticing it, had sent him flying with hundreds of wounds. At that moment of a large explosion could be seen the silhouette of two subjects. One of them would create a powerful attack, which would reduce Zycor to ashes, while the other subject was approaching Goku. When all the smoke dissipated, Whis and Beerus would recognize both warriors immediately.
But it's Vegeta!
Beerus at that same moment was filled with incredible anger. Knowing that Vegeta had snatched his position as a god of destruction, Beerus, in his combat mode, launched an attack, but it would be in vain, since the power of Vegeta this time was unattainable for Beerus. Vegeta, in a matter of seconds, would leave Beerus on the ground and on the verge of death. Whis at the same time, in the same way, had been launched against Beerus. However, the results would be the same. Yamoshi Furious would access the Ultra Instinct not to lose consciousness while fighting. However, despite accessing the Ultra Instinct, none of this was enough. Vegeta effortlessly defeated him. Daishinkan and Zeno-sama, which were watching everything that had happened, would give maximum alert in all 12 universes. Gods, angels, and all mortal of great power, meet in Universe 8. The battle against the old god of Universe 7 Vegeta is about to begin. This will define if we live or die. At that moment, all the Disios, together with their angels and warriors, were approaching at an astonishing speed towards Universe 8, which was where the battle was taking place.
Ha ha ha! No matter how many warriors unite against us, they don't have the necessary power to face us. After all, they're not prodigies like us.
Goku at that moment had recovered from all the blows that Frieza had connected to him, and with a very serious and cold look, he would stand in front of both subjects.
So you've come back to life, Vegeta. It wasn't enough to freeze me for 1,000 years. Now you want to defeat you again!
Now you are not able to do anything against me. I've been able to surpass all your powers since I prepared myself for this day.
Vegeta at that moment began to access the Ultra Ego. His transformation was amazing. Fire, lightning, and lightning were formed, only Vegeta to be increasing its power. After a few moments and an explosion which would leave reduced to dust the entire Universe 8, you could observe Vegeta in his transformation of Ultra Ego, but this time the power that emanated was abominable.
I hope you're prepared for the most humiliating defeat you ever had, Kakarot.
At that moment, both warriors had launched one against the other, beginning to exchange blows at an amazing speed. However, the most injured in each exchange of blows was Goku, which, despite being in its most powerful transformation, would not be able to withstand the powerful blows of Vegeta, which at every moment of the battle was managing to cause an incredible damage. So it is, Goku at every moment of that battle was not able to do anything. At that moment, all the divine beings would arrive and were amazed to observe the two most powerful beings in terrible conditions. The King Yamoshi on the verge of death, while Goku was receiving a brutal beating. All the angels were with great power were able to Yamoshi regain his power, with which he would stand up.
Thank you very much. I never thought I'd be defeated, much less in this world. But we must finish with one of the two subjects to have some advantage. Gods, it's time to form the divine being. I count on you. As you command, Daishinkan-sama.
At that moment in all the universes, a giant pentagram would form, in which each god, angel, and warrior had merged into a single warrior. At that moment of Universe 9 and 10 were destroyed by the appearance of a new warrior. Yamoshi would be a little surprised by the power that subject released.
I am the Archangel of Death. My purpose is to finish off the bastard of Vegeta and Frieza. Guards, it's time. We'll also enter a combat mode.
In that same instant, Zeno-sama together with his guards began to merge, leaving everyone surprised by the power they were releasing. The power they felt were equally amazing. A great light could be seen by the true king of everything.
Now I'm ready. I'm not going to be left behind.
Daishinkan at that moment would increase his power to the maximum. At that moment, the four warriors had launched themselves against Frieza, who was in his golden state. That is, the four warriors began to fight without trusting and not giving him the opportunity to release all his power. That is, the four warriors were giving a beating to Frieza, who was not able to do anything. However, at that moment, a great attack would send Yamoshi and Archon to fly. That's right, Vegeta at that moment had thrown a gigantic dragon of divine fire, and they didn't dodge it. They would be disintegrated. Frieza at that moment, at a great speed, would give some good hits to Daishinkan and Zeno-sama. Without wasting any time, he'd begin to increase his power to the maximum. The four warriors tried to prevent it, but at that moment they approached, they were sent to fly by a simple pressure of his ki.
Damn, that wretch had managed to access his maximum power.
After a few seconds, you can see Black Frieza, without giving a word, had launched an attack on the warriors, which this time, despite having greater numerical advantage, were not able to cause damage. Meanwhile, with the battle between Goku and Vegeta, Goku even at that moment had lost his transformation. Returning to the Ultra Instinct, after a few more blows, Goku would fall to the ground, returning to his base state and on the verge of death. At that moment, Vegeta would approach Goku, beginning to torture him cruelly.
Because of your miserable fault, I was always second. But now I can finally finish you, you miserable insect. You're nothing compared to me.
Goku's screams can be heard throughout the universes, while Frieza had managed to knock out Daishinkan and Archon. The only ones left standing were Yamoshi and Zeno-sama. However, both were on the verge of death. Meanwhile, Vegeta at that moment would charge a powerful attack.
And with this attack, I say goodbye to you, Kakarot. I'll be the new ruler of everything.
Meanwhile, with Goku at that moment, it seemed that time itself had stopped, while Golden Light would speak to Goku. There is one last transformation beyond Ultra Instinct Phase 4, but you must be willing to lose everything.
No matter what the price is, I accept. I'll not let anyone or anything end up with all my loved ones.
Alright, get the power of Super Saiyan 6, the power that is even on par with the Creator God. At that moment, the whole body of Goku would be covered with a red aura. Even the powerful attack of Vegeta had disintegrated from such bestial power. After a great explosion, you could see a different Goku. This time his fur was black. Goku was an amazing speed, which would give a great blow to Vegeta, who would make him spit large amounts of blood.
What the hell? How'd you get all that power? I'm not going to trust you.
Vegeta at that moment would access Phase 4 of Ultra Ego, which would both begin to exchange blows at a great speed. However, the power of Vegeta was not enough to kill Goku, which at this time was at a completely different level.
With his power, you'll not be any part of anything. And this technique surpasses the ability to erase a king completely.
At that moment, Goku would give him a shrapnel of blows, which would leave Vegeta on the verge of death, and would throw a great sphere of dark energy, which would turn Vegeta into ashes. Frieza, when observing this, was surprised. However, he had thrown himself against Goku, being completely in vain.
Mythical Dragon of Death!
At that moment, a powerful dragon of dark color would descend, beginning to finish with each cell of Frieza's body, leaving no trace of it. At that very moment, Goku would raise one of his hands, making everything return to normal. That's right, the 12 universes had returned to normal with each of its inhabitants. At that moment, all the gods and angels would approach Goku, watching as his body was disintegrating. All began to give him some of their energy to no avail.
Friends, being with you has been the best thing that could have happened to me. I hope to see you again in another life. Beerus, Yamoshi, please take care of the universes that I love so much.
At that moment, the whole body would become a simple golden light, which would be spread by all the 12 universes. So the end of Goku had come. The end of the Saiyan who gave his last breath for the peace of the 12 universes and each one of his friends.
What will happen next? Well guys, this is all for today's chapter. I hope you liked it and it was to your liking. Now don't forget to leave your powerful like Supreme God level, comment and subscribe. Now without further ado, see you in a new video. Until next time.